Think of the greatest minds you know, the smartest person in any room. Now imagine that mind forged not in comfort, but in fire, loss, and cold, hard rage. That is the origin of the man who would become a god. That is the story of Victor Von Doom.
To understand the monster, you must first meet the boy. Victor was born into a Romani family in the tiny oppressed nation of Latveria. His mother, Cynthia, was a kind woman and a secret sorceress. His father, Werner, was a doctor and a pacifist. They lived under the cruel boot of a tyrant king. Victor's world shattered young. His mother, trying to protect her people, made a desperate bargain with a demon named Mephisto. The power she received was real, but the cost was her soul. She died, damned to an eternity of torment. Not long after, his father died protecting Victor from the winter cold as they fled the king's soldiers. By his teenage years, Victor Von Doom was alone, with two burning missions carved into his soul: free his mother from hell and make the world pay for its cruelty. A genius like Victor couldn't stay hidden. His intellect won him a scholarship to a university in America. Here he met another brilliant mind, Reed Richards, and from the very first moment, they clashed. To Reed, science was a tool for discovery. To Victor, it was a weapon for vengeance and a key to the mystical. He saw Reed as arrogant. Reed saw Victor as dangerous. This rivalry would become the defining conflict of both their lives. Driven by his need to rescue his mother, Victor worked in secret on a machine to breach the dimensional barriers and find her soul. Reed saw his calculations and warned him of a flaw. But Victor's pride, that fatal, towering pride, would not let him listen to the man he saw as a rival. He activated the machine. It exploded. The forces Victor tried to control scarred his face forever. In that moment of pain and humiliation, he made his choice. He blamed Reed Richards. The accident, his expulsion, his pain, all of it was Richards' fault. This wasn't just a scar on his skin, it was a crack in his mind, and through it poured a new purpose. Not just to save his mother, but to prove he was the superior man. Disgraced, Victor wandered the world, his hatred his only fuel. He eventually found himself in the mountains of Tibet, taken in by an order of monks. He didn't come to them as a student, but as a conqueror. He mastered their arts, both physical and mystical, and then he commanded them. He ordered them to forge for him a new skin, a suit of advanced titanium armor and an iron mask, forever sealed to hide his disfigurement from the world. The mask wasn't just metal, it was a symbol. It erased Victor, the hurt boy, and gave birth to Doom, the unfeeling force. He returned to Latveria, overthrew its king in a single night, and declared himself its rightful ruler. The country of his suffering was now his kingdom, his base, and his proof of concept. Under Dr. Doom, Latveria prospered. Hunger ended, crime vanished, but so did freedom. Doom's people were safe, but they were not free. In his mind, this was the perfect trade. This was order, and it was just the beginning. So, what makes Dr. Doom so dangerous? It's not one thing. It's the terrifying combination of all of them. First, his mind. He is a genius on par with Reed Richards or Tony Stark. His intellect isn't just theoretical, he's a master roboticist, creating legions of Doombots to act as his soldiers and decoys, an expert in weapons design, and has even conquered time travel with his time platform. Second, his magic. People often forget this. Doom is one of the most powerful sorcerers on Earth. He didn't abandon his mother's arts, he perfected them. He has a vast library of spells and artifacts, and his skill is so great he once temporarily took the title of Mozo Sorcerer Supreme from Doctor Strange himself. All of this is contained and amplified by his third asset, his armor. It's a technological marvel powered by a microreactor. It lets him fly, generates force fields stronger than some superheroes' powers, and is packed with sensors, weapons, and tools for any situation. He is a skilled, hand-to-hand combatant who has fought Captain America and Black Panther to a standstill. But his true power isn't in gadgets or spells. It's in his will, his ego, his pride, his utter conviction that he alone knows what's best for humanity. This drive has led him to steal power from cosmic beings, believing only he could wield it correctly. He stole the power cosmic from the Silver Surfer, becoming a god of energy for a short time. He once used a mind control device to legally become Emperor Doom of the entire Earth, creating a world without war or hunger, but also without choice. In his greatest triumph, he outsmarted and stole the power of the Beyonders, nearly omnipotent beings who oversee the multiverse. With this power, he did the impossible. He stopped an incursion that was destroying every reality. He gathered the fragments of a dead multiverse and forged them into a single patchwork planet called Battleworld. And he ruled it not as a king, but as a god emperor. For a time, Dr. Doom achieved his ultimate goal. He wasn't just the ruler of the world, he was the creator and god of all that remained. He had the power to reshape reality with a thought. And in the end, he was only defeated because he was challenged by the one thing he could never truly conquer: the idea that Reed Richards, his oldest rival, might be a better man. He lost that power, but he survived. His face was even-heeled. Yet he returned to Latveria because Doom's mission never ends. The world is still flawed, and he is still the only one who can fix it. Now, this legendary villain is stepping onto the biggest stage imaginable. In Avengers Doomsday, set for release in December 2026, Victor Von Doom will face not just the Fantastic Four, but the combined might of the Avengers, the X-Men, Wakanda, and more. The casting sent shockwaves through the world. Robert Downey Jr., the man who was Iron Man for a generation, will now play his spiritual opposite, Dr. Doom. This has sparked endless theories. Is Doom a variant of Tony Stark? The movie's official cast list is clear. Downey is playing Victor Von Doom's Dr. Doom, a distinct character. Director Joe Russo has called Doom three-dimensional and one of the most complex comic book characters, and said Downey was the one actor who could tackle that complexity. Downey himself is deeply invested. He developed his own backstory for the character and has contributed ideas for the costume. He's even teased fans on social media with playful images like one of Iron Man and Dr. Doom breaking a turkey wishbone together. So, what can we expect? We know the film will have a serious, dramatic tone. We know Doom will be the central threat that forces this unprecedented alliance of heroes. With Downey's talent for portraying brilliant, charismatic, and deeply flawed men, we are likely to see a Doom who is intellectually captivating, terrifyingly competent, and tragically human. We will see the wounded pride, the monumental ego, and the twisted nobility of a man who looks at a broken universe and says, "I alone can bear this burden." Dr. Doom is not a simple monster. He is a tragedy of Shakespearean scale. A boy who lost everything and used a god's intellect to build a suit of armor around his heart. He is a tyrant who loves his people, a villain who believes he is a savior, and a man whose quest for perfection made him a demon in his own eyes. He is a warning that the road to hell isn't just paved with good intentions. Sometimes it's built with cold, flawless logic, hammered into shape by the most brilliant mind alive. And in 2026, he will demand that the entire Marvel universe kneel. I hope this detailed look into the heart and mind of Dr. Doom was what you were looking for. His journey from a Romani camp to the throne of a god is one of the greatest stories in comics. Are you curious about any specific aspect of his rule in Latveria? Or perhaps his famous battles with a particular hero like Spider-Man or Black Panther?